So I really feel you're very genuine, very honest, true person, like true human being who has found himself within and who is actually on their path and helping, supporting people, helping growth. So I really feel that, and I do appreciate you being there. I did always, just that I didn't tell you. Today I have a chance to tell you in person, and I'm not the person who will speak in front of everybody. So I really appreciate that. And today is not the day for me. Welcome to the show. Let's talk with Urvashi. This is the episode with Ben, continuation from last episode. If you haven't checked all of his previous episode, please do go and check. We are today continuing talking about the emotional challenges that one would go when they are trying to build a new startup, new business, and starting their new entrepreneurship journey. Let's explore with Ben, and please go and check it out. His Instagram, YouTube, as well as his website. At this point, I want to ask you, Ben, what do you think that as a life coach, we know what is the important of a life coaching, but do you think that the world knows about it, that they life coaching is important?
I think life coaches definitely have the stance that, hey, I've overcome something in life. I have done the hard work of connecting with self. I've done hard work to heal trauma. And coaches have been through those things and done the hard work to heal. And something that I've noticed about coaches is they want to get other people there. Like once you experience the feeling of being truly connected to yourself, truly healed of your trauma, anything that you put in the work towards yourself, the world is still on that page of it is selfish to do that. It is selfish to invest in yourself. It is selfish to take time out of your schedule for yourself. And I think that coaches are on the front line of teaching.
Ben, how should one keep their authenticity and their values on high when they're feeling down during the startup?
I think the best practice is checking in with yourself on a very daily basis, so that you can really feel everything that you're feeling. The journey is going to send you through so many different emotions, and you have to accept them all. Like, you can't be upset with yourself for feeling frustrated. You can't be upset on days when you just don't have it. You need rest. You need all of those things. So allowing yourself all the space on the journey of being an entrepreneur, on being a coach. I think most coaches, we coach people on how to do that and then forget to do it for ourselves. And I think that that's why it's important for coaches to be surrounded with fellow coaches, because we can throw that back out and remind each other that. Because when you're in a position where people are dependent on you and are needing you to help them heal or walk their journey, sometimes you take such responsibility on your shoulders and you forget that you're also a human. You're also growing and working through this journey. So I think constant feedback within yourself and never like rejecting a reality of that it's hard. It's not an easy journey. Like, it's hard to go on the journey for yourself, but it's even harder to provide that space so that others can go on the journey, because you're providing space for whatever that client may bring. And that's a mystery until it is brought to the space. And then understanding, okay, this was a lot. Some sessions may take a lot out of you. Some skills that you have to learn to be an entrepreneur drain you because it's not in your wheelhouse. But that's okay. And you have to go, okay, I don't know it. I do not know this information. Where can I go to find this? Who can I speak to make this easier? How do I get past this roadblock? Because my journey is to heal and help people, and I'm not going to let this small roadblock stop me from achieving this. Who can I reach out to get past this and overcome it? And don't feel bad about it. And never forget, you have just as much to offer the people you're asking for help from. It's just in a different area of life that you're going to be able to assist them at that moment in time and navigate life that way.
Yeah, brilliant. So now that the coach, or let's say we talk about coach particularly, when we know what we are doing, we have the vision and we know the capabilities that we are holding it, we have a capacity, we have plan, we have everything. We don't have a self-doubt that we cannot do it, but still sometimes there is an uncertainty or the fear of uncertainty or little bit comparison. Even in other startups, like people do compare with the other startup or the person, like it comes like not naturally, but it will come like by subconsciously, like, okay, I'm not growing enough, I'm not doing enough. And at that point, that fear that I'm what I'm going to do about it, like how should I do it? So at that point, what would you tell them?
I think in the journey of comparison, we have to be very, very careful, and know that each of us are here to serve a very unique group of people. There will be people who align so much better with you than they ever will with me. And if I'm speaking in front of an audience that is meant for you, they're not going to connect with me. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that I should stop speaking. It just means that I need to recenter with myself and ask myself, why am I speaking in front of the wrong audiences? How can I get in front of the right people that align with my message, and allow other people's success to inspire you, as well as knowing that the reason they're being successful is not because they're superior to you in any way. Just know that they are sitting in alignment with themselves, and that is bringing them success. So when you aren't seeing success, just ask yourself, what is not aligned right now? Why is my message that I'm sending out not bringing the people that are meant to be my client? What is not aligned there? Can I create a new message that is more aligned with what I'm looking for? Because I truly think everyone's story is powerful. I think everyone's ability to help others heal is powerful, but we're not meant to heal everyone. There's not a single person on this earth that is here for everyone's journey. And we just have to stand in our authenticity and alignment every single day that we put ourselves out there. And as soon as that is clear to the world, that's when the world starts sending everyone your way that aligns with you, because your message is so clear that the universe, the people around you understand, this person does this type of coaching, she heals this type of people, she walks journeys like this with specific people, and they can send people that way. And the biggest thing that I learned was I have to ask people and be like, who do you think my ideal client is based upon what you know about me as a coach? And if their answer wasn't correct or what I wanted to be working in, I first questioned myself, like, okay, is what they're saying more aligned with me and I'm just not understanding it because I'm not connected with myself enough? Or am I just not putting off the right message so that people around me understand the people I want to work with are these types of people? And just constantly keep realigning, but never look at someone else's success and allow it to diminish what you are worth and what you're capable of providing to people, because your people are out there, they just haven't found you yet.
That was so powerful. The last what you said, so powerful. Uh, when you are so successful in your stage of coaching or a podcaster, and that's it's like you're living your passion. What would you tell one thing to everybody who wants to live their passion or who wants to build their business, or they're like they want to start their entrepreneurship after entire all of these years? If you have to tell them like one thing or three, like 3 points that make sure you don't miss this, what that would be?
Make sure that you are doing it because it's what you love. Um, because what someone may like title as success, if I compare myself to someone who has a much larger audience, I may be able to look at what I've accomplished and label it as a failure. Um, an easy comparison for me would be comparing myself to someone like Jay Shetty, who he's a mentor to me. He's someone that I admire a lot, and he has a much larger following than I do. And it would be easy for me to look at his podcast versus mine and write mine off as a failure and give up. But I do my podcast because it's what brings me to life. I enjoy it so much. And I want to continue to keep doing that because it adds a lot of value to me. But if I get to a point where it doesn't feel right, I will stop doing it. I'm not going to continue doing something that doesn't align with me. And I think another great point for people out there who are trying to stay on that path of being authentic to themselves and living in their passion is you're always going to grow, and the world is changing. I know that because my success exists on social media platforms, that I have to continue to grow, even though it's not fun to learn how algorithms work and how audience shifts and what's trending now. I know that that's part of my journey. And I ask myself, like, how can I keep this aligned with myself? How can I keep this fun, even though it's not something I love? Uh, and just keep reminding yourself, okay, what's the purpose? Like, why did I want to start this podcast? Is that podcast still staying true to my purpose, or did I lose that? How can I bring it back? Or does it need to evolve into something different now? And allowing that, and don't be stubborn and try to keep something that everything is telling you it's time to grow or it's time to let go. Listen to those types of things. But don't give it up just because you don't have tons of people following you yet. Because the beautiful thing about creating something from passion is that passion is woven into every ounce of that creation. And when the audience comes that knows how to appreciate your worth, they're going to love every second you spent on the creating of that. So don't give up just because you don't have 1,000 people tuning in as soon as you put it out. Because as long as it's there for someone, it will eventually get in front of the audience that it needs to be in front of. And then they'll have everything there laid out as a journey to follow you wherever you want to take your career, your passion, your social platform, people will follow you on that.
Ben, I really have to admit at this point and appreciate that you're so genuine person. You're very genuine, very positive, and you really appreciate growth. You really want to help people see growing, and it is really like, I don't have a right word to put it right now, but I really appreciate that, like how much you because what you said in last few minutes, it is so powerful, because I do understand what you're saying, and it exactly tells me what I have to keep up doing it. So I know the worth of those words, intentions, and feelings what you're sharing. So thank you for that. So today, when we're talking about emotional challenges of the new business startup, what is that one thing that you have learned from your journey that you still cannot forget, and you think that you're still carrying with you?
I think finding harmony between your emotions and your thoughts are really important. I think when it comes to trusting the energy you feel around something
Mm-hmm.
and remembering the things that you need to step through to achieve the goals that you've set for yourself. Because there have been so many times where things didn't feel right to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I trusted myself to go into the space and allowed myself to be the strong energy to create what I needed. I think so often we shrink ourselves down. Like we say, the community's not right, the people aren't right, the knowledge I have isn't enough. And we shrink ourselves to a point where we forget that we can step into a space that is not what the world needs, and we have the power to turn it into what the world needs. And so often we shrink ourselves to the point of thinking we don't have the power
Mm-hmm.
to make a difference. But even in a corporation or a space where spiritual or religious beliefs are different than your own, they say things that make you feel small, or a company tells you you won't be worth anything because you can't do this for them. All of those things, if you let it sit in your mind, will make you feel so small.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when you need to breathe in and just remember you have the extreme power to completely change a scenario that is happening around you. We are powerful beings, and I think empathetic people, people who can feel energy, um, we forget that vulnerability, authenticity, saying exactly what we know needs to be said can have ripple effects. And I think often we fall into fear and shrink ourselves and allow whoever's loudest or angriest to win in those spaces. And I just want to remind people that powerful change makers also have the same ability to raise their voice for good and establish a space for others around them to heal and grow in a better way than other people may be providing for people. So stepping into this new world, you may be overwhelmed by emotions, but just know that as long as you're moving through it authentically and you truly do have a purpose to create good, that you have every right to take up as much space as possible. And you should not feel bad about outshining someone who is not providing a community what they need, because the world needs more of it, and we can't shrink ourselves just because someone's being louder. And when I learned that, I was just like, okay, we're making some changes today. Let's go.
I think this, I need to hear that every other day. Like, let's go, keep it up.
Yeah.
That was amazing.